And then it's in a beautiful place. Like Puerto Rico is an absolutely beautiful place. And they have a really vibrant culture. There's, you know, basically how you get to a Puerto Rican, they have this Taino people. I'm probably mispronouncing it, but basically the Native American Indian, they lived here. Then the Spanish came in, took over through conquest and rape and torture in not good ways, but they made it a real colony for 400 years. And then they also brought in slaves from Africa, West Africa, to look the sugar canes and whatever. So the Puerto Ricans are this conglomerate, this amalgamation of like Native Americans, Spanish, Nigerians, all mixed into one. Like that's how you get J-Lo, you know, the anatomy of J-Lo, that's where it's coming from. You know what I mean? And
right.
so there's just, they've got their own vibe, they got their own food, they got their own stuff, but it's still America. Like there's Costco and, you know, there's kind of like three factions. There's like one faction that's like, we Puerto Ricans want to be independent. We have our own thing. We want to be our own country. There's another faction that's like, we're American. We've been American for over 100. You know, before Arizona was a state, Puerto Rico had Americans in it. Like we're America. We've been American for hundreds of years, over 100 years. We're American, you know? And then there's this other faction that's like, let's just keep it the same. Like we get to do our Puerto Rican thing. We kind of get the benefits of both. We get our culture, we get our language, we get our people, but at the same time, we get this American like passport. We get the American money coming in from DC. We get this, you know, we get the benefits from both. So like we want to keep it the same. So internally, there's a lot of like strife. The politics here are crazy. Like they're all into it. I'm not into it.
I can imagine, but you said they don't have senates. They don't have representatives.
They don't, but there's someone who's there in DC who's kind of like voicing the opinion of Puerto Ricans. But
so do they have like a mayor? Do they have?
Yeah. So basically the way it's structured is like
councilmen. Like do they?
Locally, they have locally have governors and they have mayors of towns and stuff like that. So DC basically says, okay, you have this many Americans, you get this much money, and they send billions of dollars to the local government system here. And then you're asking, at least from my opinion, why does it look like Africa? Is because they kind of operate in the same manner. So in Africa, everyone's fighting for the natural resources. They're fighting for gold. They're fighting for rubber and cobalt and, you know, whatever. And so these local generals, these local presidents these tribes are fighting with each other. And then once you get in power, it's like, okay, I'm in power. I'm going to just take as much as I can. I'm going to sell it to Europe, US, China, whoever. Get money from me, get money from my family, my friends, the local people. Good luck, guys. You know, I'm going to get as much as I can for my people and like basically screw everybody else. Well, in Puerto Rico, it's like, then they don't have gold or cobalt or whatever. The natural resource is federal funding. So they have these local families, they're all fighting to become politicians. And then once they get into politics, it's like, let's hook up my family, let's hook up my friends. We're going to take as much money as we can from this money coming from DC. And then until I get arrested or kicked out, deuces, you know? And so like, there will be these politicians who come to power and I'm talking to my team. I'm like, guys, they just stole this. They just did that. And like, it's like the Stockholm syndrome. They're kind of like, well, you know, they finally got in power. They got to get theirs. You know, I understand it. And I'm like, no, like,
oh my gosh.
That's just the way it is, you know? And so that's why there's this class of like, we want to keep it the way it is because you got this money coming in. But then you also have this boogeyman, the mainland U.S., the white people, they're colonizers. They're the ones to blame. They don't give us representation. They're bad, 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 bad. And so all the local people are like, we hate the U.S. for making us a colony and not giving us representation. True. But at the same time, it's like you have these local politicians who are stealing everything and like they don't have that accountability because like, look at D.C. You know,
it's like, no, don't look at us.
Exactly.
It's not us.
And then you have these other people who are